So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we have another episode of the Throwback Rebuild series we've been doing here on 2K24. And today it's going to be the 2017-2018 New Orleans Pelicans. Now this was a Pelicans team that finished 48-34. They ended up as the 6th seed in the Western Conference. And it's a really unfortunate kind of story what went on with this team. As I'm sure many of you are aware, the year prior to this at the deadline, they made a trade with the Sacramento Kings and acquired DeMarcus Cousins, creating one of the most insane backcourts potentially in NBA history, kind of what if almost. So this was a season where DeMarcus Cousins was playing really well, and then unfortunately in January of 2018 ended up rupturing his Achilles. Never came back to play for the Pelicans again. That offseason they opted not to give him a large extension, ending his tenure in New Orleans with rather disappointing results, honestly. But he went on to play for the Warriors the year after that. They lost in the finals, and Boogie's career was just honestly never the same. It sucks because, honestly, a crazy what if with this front court of Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. Both of these players were so dominant in their prime. AD still is. It's just very sad to see, man. Our goal today is to obviously rewrite history a little bit, see if we can get this team a championship. I want to give a big thank you to Laser Turbo. He was actually the one that recommended I do this rebuild on my historic rebuild just a few days ago. So if there's any other throwback, historic, whatever you want to call it, rebuilds you want to see, make sure to let me know in the comments section. I would definitely appreciate, of course, any other video ideas you guys do have as well. But I've been having a blast with these throwback rebuilds. The only problem with them tends to being finding a really good shared file. I spent some time digging up one for the 2017-2018 season. It's not perfect. There's a few things wrong with it, but it's definitely the best I could find after half an hour. So excited about this one. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and talk about this Pelicans roster right now. As you can see, we are at the beginning of the 2017-2018 NBA season, and I've already looked at the roster just to kind of confirm, and it's about as good as we can get. It's not very deep. It's very top-heavy. You'll see why in just a second. All right, starting out at the point guard spot. We got Rajon Rondo here. He's 31 years of age. He's a 77 overall. A little bit past his prime. I think that's a safe assumption at this point. Not to say he's a bad player or anything like that. I just don't know if in a 3-year rebuild he's going to be my point guard the entire time. We have a 35-year-old Jameer Nelson. I'd like to make an upgrade at some point in time. I'm not sure if that's going to come now, maybe the offseason, whatever it's going to be. We'll figure it out. Shooting guard spot. Jrue Holiday is here. He's 27 years old. He's only an 81 overall, which is kind of funny. He was actually their third leading scorer this season. Averaged about 19 points a game, so I think there may be a little bit of I feel like Drew's getting cheated a little bit almost, so we'll see. Jordan Crawford is here, 29 years old, probably one of the better rotation pieces we have on this team currently, because as you can see, with players that they didn't have the rights to or just couldn't find, whatever it was, they did not fill it in with, overpaid auto-generated players. Whoever created this scenario just put the last name player in a period as the first name. So we got 3 of these guys right here, all looking very much identical. They will obviously not be here very long. Small forward spot, there's nobody here. Power forward spot, we got Dante Cunningham, and you're wondering where Anthony Davis is. He's listed as a center. But Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, obviously the 2 best players on this team. AD, yes, will be running the starting power forward spot, and then we have Emeka Okafor, Omar Ashik as well. So as I mentioned, I know this roster is not completely filled out. I'll be honest with you guys, Josh Smith was actually on this team as well. He was on like a really hefty contract. I went and checked. He actually only played 3 games for the Pelicans, so that wasn't happening. I just released him. So there's going to be a couple moves made. We have 3 seasons, and obviously with injuries off, maybe things go a little bit differently. Maybe Boogie ends up being dominant for much longer. So we're going to move some positions around. We're going to make some trades. I'll see you guys with those moves. Our first trade of today's video is going to come with the Houston Rockets, and it's going to look like this. Omar Ashik, 2 future second-round picks, heading to Houston for Gerald Green and another player. You get it. But really doing this deal for Gerald Green. He's on a multi-year contract, actually coming off a pretty decent season. 9.5 points, 3 boards, and nearly 2 assists a game, while shooting 43% from beyond the arc. So I know he's 32. I know it's a low enough overall where it's not necessarily a huge impact player, but it's definitely something I can live with as a first trade. I'm also just noticing right now, you see his overall right here, it says 73. It says 72 there. That's very strange. Maybe it's a morale thing. I'm not really sure. Ashik was an expiring deal, and we have Okafor as the backup center. Honestly, I have much bigger positions of need right now. So Green's going to come in here. He's probably going to play the backup small forward spot at 6'7". I think it makes a little bit more sense there. Or maybe he'll even start at the small forward spot because I legitimately do not have anybody else there right now. What my intention is and what I'm kind of considering right now is maybe going out and just signing a free agent because, I mean, as much as I'd love to trade player for legitimately anybody of value. I just don't really forecast that happening at them being 40 overall. So it's unfortunate, but when you have to go find a shared scenario, a created roster, sometimes they're not always perfect. Today is no exception. So let's take a look at the free agents that are here in terms of like perfect. Oh, wait, no. I was getting confused. I got the names mixed up. I saw D and then I saw Carroll and just assumed it was Damari Carroll. I have no idea who Dante King or Robin Carroll is. As you can see, I did go ahead and release Josh Smith. He only played 3 games for him. I mean, maybe I could have just kept him around, but I don't know. It just didn't really see something I want to do. So none of these players appear to be real people. I'm going to sign one for 1 season, Dante King. I did not mean to edit him. Again, not a long-term option, but it's what we're going to have to kind of live with for year 1. So, yeah, one... Are you kidding me? God bless 2K. Okay, well, that kind of sucks. Can I sign Brevin Goodwin? Will he accept that? Okay, perfect. It's not going to probably be a great first season. I think it'll be decent enough just because we have really 2 dominant front court players, but we're going to set this rotation for what's going to be an interesting first year. We've gone ahead and finalized the rotation for our first season here in New Orleans. Yes, I did go ahead and check. I confirmed we have our first round pick. I'm not anticipating that we're going to be a very bad team, but you never really know with things like this. I'm hoping we're good. I think we might be good, but just a little bit of an insurance policy. Rajon Rondo, Drew Holiday, Gerald Green, Anthony Davis, and DeMarcus Cousins is your 1 through 5 bench unit. Dante Cunningham here as my 6th man. You got Jordan Crawford behind him, Emeka Okafor, whoever the hell Brevin Goodwin is, and then Jameer Nelson, who I didn't end up trading for a 71 overall. I think it's not the worst idea in the world just to hang on to him, let him ride out this into the sunset in his career here in New Orleans. So that's what it's going to look like for year 1. As I mentioned, we're not going to contend with the super team Warriors right now, who are very much intact. I'll also show you guys, I'll just go around and kind of just show you guys what this roster and this scenario looks like. It's not great in any way, shape, or form. Like, it's not perfect. There are definitely things wrong with it. Like, we're not competing with this bullshit here in year 1. But anyways, nonetheless, this is a decent enough job, and I do appreciate whoever spent the time actually creating this. This is what I was talking about the other day. 2K spends all this time making these, like, historic draft classes. Like, I can go back to, like, 1970, I think, and use, like, historic draft classes, but why don't they just do the same thing with rosters? I don't need any of this scenario bullshit. Just give me a roster every single year. You know how many videos I could make if I had historic rosters from each season? And I fully understand you're not going to be able to get the rights to players from every year, and maybe that's too much work, but God, your product already sucks enough. Just throw me a bone. God damn. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. 48-34. That is the first year's record here in New Orleans. It's a record that I can definitely live with. It's something we can build upon. I hope it just doesn't mean that we're a quick first round exit. We'll find out. Kevin Durant is your MVP. John, what? Okay, so this is where the roster's getting a little fucked up. Yeah, this is where it's, yeah, okay. Derek Favors, your 6th man of the year. Kawhi Leonard, Jadid Boy, Jimmy Butler, most improved. Eric's, okay. I didn't check the coaches. Probably should have checked the coaches. But, yeah, no, I mean, Steve Kerr's a good coach. Eric Spoelstra's a good coach. The Warriors are a super team at this point in time. You can put me out there coaching them. They probably still win a lot of games. We're an 8 seed with 48 wins. Oh, my God. Oh my God, that's absolutely insane. All right, well, I wasn't necessarily expecting the Warriors as a first-round matchup, but you know what? It's what we got, and we're going to work with what we have. Why is Drew Holiday averaging fucking 13 points, 12 and a half points? Why? That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. Green, Crawford. Rondo had 11 assists a game. I'm just kind of confused about it. I mean, I understand how dominant Cousins and Davis are, but it's very confusing all across the board. But, all right, we have a dance here with the Warriors, round 1. I mean, you got 5 Hall of Famers here, probably. That's insane. All right, let's go through it. We end up losing game 1. We lose game 2. We do win game 3. Good to see. Okay, we're fighting back a little. There's no way, right? There's absolutely no way. I got to just see the stats. Really? Really? Okay, Anthony Davis was out of this fucking world good. Boogie, same thing. Gerald Green stepping up to the plate. Like, can you imagine? Like, I get it. It's a different scenario for everybody, but like a third option, not only being Gerald Green, but the fact that he averaged 11 and a half points and that was good enough to beat the super team Warriors, that's insane. All right, well, we've moved on to the San Antonio Spurs. They do have Kawhi Leonard. They have a young DeJounte Murray. Patty Mills is here. LaMarcus Aldridge, Pau Gasol. Got Rudy Gay coming off the bench, same with Tony Parker. So a good team here in San Antonio nonetheless. But then again, I also thought we were going to lose last round, and we didn't. And I don't really know what's happening right now. I'm at like a loss for words almost. And it's strange to say because this might backfire, but the matchups have only gotten easier as we've gone through the playoffs, which I don't know. All right, you have a second-year Jamal Murray. Ignore the Atlanta thing. A lot of guys' like previous stats are kind of screwed up. Will Barton, Wilson Chandler, Paul Millsap, Nikola Jokic is a 90 overall. Again, ignore the Dallas. But, yeah, they're good. I think they're probably even better than us. But, I mean, are we? Okay, maybe this is the end of the road. Could be the end of the road for us. Yeah, it is. We get bounced in 5 games in the Philadelphia 76ers. Oh, my God. This is not what I expected for the first season. I was just assuming it was going to be Cavs Warriors. It was not. Kobe, he was technically retired the year before, I think. Vince Carter, Dirk, Terry McGetty. Wow, a lot of names there. All right, so we are going to head into this first offseason. And honestly, I'm a little bit surprised. I don't know exactly what I was expecting that season, but it happened. Shot clock, the whole shot clock resetting to 24 was always dumb. All-star captains, yeah, I know was a thing for a while. Now it's just back to East versus West. All right, draft lottery. I know we're not going to have we're not going to have a high pick. Our pick is going to be at, where's the Pelicans? Number 19. This is the 2018 draft class. This is Ayton. This is Luka. This is Marvin Bagley. This is Trae Young. There are a lot of names here. Rick Adelman. I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not saying that we didn't have a fantastic run as an 8 seed, but there's no point in being like, I'm not here to, make anybody feel good, right? These ratings aren't going to do anything for me. Maybe if we had a higher rated head coach, we would have actually made the finals. I don't know, but I'm not going to sit around here and wait for Rick, who looks like he's about 55 years old, to maybe get some better ratings. So we're going to fire him. Not necessarily something I had to do. This could be a good style for a video. He is an assistant coach right now with the Washington Wizards. I do see Frank Vogel's here. Frank actually has some pretty good ratings. See Doc Rivers here. So there are definitely some names all across the board that I could consider. Could just get Underwood, but you know what? I want to mix it up. Let's go after Frank Vogel. Not a guy I really ever... Okay, maybe not. Doc. Would you let me sign him? Probably going to say it's blocked. I'm going to go give Underwood an offer as well. And then, honestly, Underwood's here. Why not? All right, let's head up to the draft. I think I have a trade coming. The Memphis Grizzlies have the number 7 overall pick, and I want to trade up and get it. So, we're offering number 19 overall, Emeka Okafor as well, who is now 35 years of age. He's just not going to get any better. So, we're going to move on. I know they're not going to take that straight up. How about a second-round pick? I'm not going to give up another first, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down the list. That's number 7 overall. Who has, like, number 8 or 9 overall? Again, just curious. Let's see. I see 10 right there. Like 8 is the Dallas Mavericks. They're not going to take that. I know this process is going to take some time. I'll try number 10 if I can find it. It's the Pistons. They won't take it. Oh, boy. Okay. My problem is I don't really want to give up a lot, and some teams are obviously not going to have money, like the Milwaukee Bucks. The Celtics do agree. All right, so I know I'm not getting Luka or Trae Young or anybody like that. I'm assuming, yes, the Suns fix a mistake that they probably should have had in the first place. Can you imagine Luka and Booker on the same team? All right, so just looking, Trae Young, Kevin Knox, Ayton, Jackson, Bagley. This is a really good draft class. We just missed out on SGA, although he is only a 73 overall. All right, looking at some of the names we do see here, I know we just went ahead and actually traded away our backup center, so potentially replacing him wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. I see Mo Bamba here. Mo Bamba was one of the higher-rated prospects in this draft class. I think went like number 7 overall, something like that. Robert Williams is here. Wendell Carter Jr. here. All really solid center options. Same with Mitchell Robinson. I'm just looking at some of the other names. Like Jalen Brunson is sitting here. Jesus Christ, this draft class is insane. I feel like in some ways it would be idiotic not to draft Jalen Brunson, but I also can probably tell he has like a pretty low overall right now. But it just feels dumb not to draft him. It does. Like knowing obviously how well he worked out. But he's listed as a C-. You got C+ here with Williams and Bamba. It would be absolutely insane in hindsight drafting Bamba or Williams or Carter or any of these guys over Brunson. just think it makes a little bit more sense right now to draft one of them, considering that their overall is probably going to be higher. Like, if we go back to what's happened so far in the summary, like, even though DeAndre Ayton, turned out not to be number 1 overall pick worthy, he's still 79 overall. So I'm thinking the same thing could apply with a guy like Mo Bamba. So I might get absolutely flamed for doing this, but I'm going to take him. I fully understand that it might not be the smartest move in the world, but it's the one we're going to go with, and he's a 76 overall. I have no idea what Brunson's overall would have been. Shit on me all you want. It's only 2 more years in this rebuild anyways. All right, no qualifying offers or team player options. Boogie is a free agent. He has 16 offers, 3 real offers, 1 from the Hawks, 1 from the New York Knicks, and 1 from the Sacramento Kings. So I'm going to pay him. I'm, obviously here with no injuries on. It's a little bit different. The rest of this free agency class isn't great by any means. I do see Kyrie Irving here. We don't really have Kyrie Irving money, unfortunately. So what is the number 1 offer? I'm just curious. That's 3 over 96. Jesus Christ. That's insane. That's about 32 a year. All right, I'm going to attempt to beat it. Shit, that's a max contract? I'm really just hoping that he doesn't leave me for nothing. Okay, thank God. If DeMarcus Cousins had left, I don't want to sit here and say this video is over, but it makes it significantly more challenging. So even though the AAV appears to be a little bit lower, he has more years. I can live with it. All right, let's take a look at this team. I think it is time for some more blockbuster trades. I know it's not necessarily a great season out of Drew Holiday for what we were kind of hoping and kind of expecting out of him. I don't know if it's like a shot tendency thing or whatever the hell it is, but I'm not saying I'm getting rid of him. I think there are other pieces that are way more likely to be moved. Where did Luke Kennard come from? Oh, this isn't my team. That's why. Gerald Green, again, had a fantastic year for us, just probably on his way out as well. So let's get into some trades. We're making a pretty big deal here with the San Antonio Spurs in terms of overalls. It's not a very big trade, but in terms of the players and the value we're getting in this deal, it's an absolute slam dunk. Jordan Crawford, Gerald Green, and a 2019 first-round pick heading to San Antonio for DeJounte Murray and Derek White. Now, I know neither White or Murray are either like the caliber of players they are today, but they're both still positive assets that are young. It's very much a very big home run for Jordan Crawford and Gerald Green. So excited because I went ahead and I actually moved Drew Holiday to the point guard spot. His overall jumped up 1. I'm actually going to play both Murray and White. I don't know what's going to happen to their overalls. I don't know if both of them will be here the entire video, but it does feel smart adding players like this who can definitely be beneficial to this team. Now it's time to figure out the small forward spot because we have no one there. Last year it was Gerald Green and some auto-generated player that wasn't even real, and I would like to address that issue before it goes any further. Now, curious, do we have any money here in free agency? Not really. Mac Henry, not really interested. Oh boy. Okay. So there are definitely some names there that could be decent backups. I don't know if Rajon Rondo at 32 years old is going to acquire me anything of like significant value. I highly doubt it. Like Bam Adebayo would be fantastic. We just don't really need a guy like Bam Adebayo right now. Honestly, Corey Brewer for a year wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I know he's 32. God, if he just had an extra year, that would just be so fantastic. And yes, I know how hilarious it sounds willingly choosing Corey Brewer over Bam Adebayo, but he's just expiring after this year. Maybe I take on Bam. And then, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to take on Bam. And then maybe I go ahead and trade newly drafted Mo Bamba, because I think Bamba will definitely have some trade value as well. I understand the contract is really like this. This is exactly what I was looking for. That's kind of what I had in mind more so when I went ahead and actually, whoa, Draymond. But I don't need a power forward, and I don't want to give up DeJounte Murray. All right, we're going to pick up Chris Middleton here, the trade exception we have from the Rondo trade, and that actually makes a lot of sense to me in my head. All right, so the starting 5 is complete. A lot of defense to go around here. What we're going to have to figure right now is the bench unit, because as you can see, we only have a backup shooting guard and a backup center, so we need 4, 3, and 1. Let's just see some of the options here, like Dellavedova. Honestly, not the worst option to bring him in as a backup point guard. And then I see Cunningham was here. It doesn't look like we have the funds for him. Garrett Temple, I think, was actually a former Pelican. I think he was a Pelican at one point in time. And then the power forward options here that are kind of remaining. Trevor Booker, probably just going to have to do it. All right, so that is officially it. We've gone ahead and had a very, very big offseason. We've kind of recreated this team a little bit. And I think we're really very much trending in the right direction right now. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. Last year was definitely fun. We had a little bit of a Cinderella run in the playoffs. We were an 8 seed facing a super team Warriors in round 1. We made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals after a few upsets. The offseason, we decided that we didn't want to run it back with the current core, and I really do think that was the smartest and most beneficial decision we could have possibly made. So, a lot of new faces around here. Drew Holiday moves back to the point guard spot, probably a more natural fit for him. Anyways, newly acquired DeJounte Murray going to be here at the 2, newly acquired Chris Middleton here at the 3, and then the front court of dominance here with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. Bench unit's also looking a little bit different. We brought in Matthew Dellavedova. He will be my 6th man off the bench, even though he's not the highest overall. Bam Adebayo, it is fantastic to see him developing. He's all the way up to a 79. He'll be my backup center. Derek White in here as well. That overall is not quite there, but I do think another year of development will be extremely beneficial for D. White, Garrett Temple, and then Trevor Booker. So the depth on the bench is interesting. There's some young pieces that maybe aren't at full potential. There's some veterans who are maybe regressing a little bit. And the starting lineup, I really do like how everybody fits. A lot of defense in this starting 5. So very excited about this season. I'm hoping it's a better regular season than last year, and even better postseason as well. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. I couldn't think of a better possible way to wrap up our second regular season here in New Orleans. Anthony Davis is your MVP. We go 66-16 and just an all-around great regular season. Vibes are high, and I'm hoping that we're going into the playoffs with a very, very level head. Luka Doncic is your Rookie of the Year, went number 1 overall, as he probably should have in real life. Markelle Fultz, 6th Man of the Year in Philadelphia. Kawhi is your DPOY once again. De'Aaron Fox, Most Improved. And Jacob Underwood, our first-year head coach of the Year. I'm very excited about this team. I think this team can be a whole lot of fun. 66 wins is going to give us the 1 seed here. It's very much different from the 8 seed we were last year. Here's a look at the Eastern Conference if you'd like to pause. All right, let's dive into some numbers real quick. Points per game: Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, Chris Middleton, Murray, Holiday, Bam, White, Dellavedova, Booker, and Temple. Rebounds going to be Anthony Davis, and assists is Drew Holiday. So the first round, we have the Utah Jazz. Isaiah Thomas, now a member of the Jazz. You have young Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Knox, Jay Crowder, Rudy Gobert. You got Joe Ingles off the bench, Alec Burks. Pretty good 8 seed. I will definitely say that. They're going to definitely not be the easiest first-round matchup possible, but it is definitely one that I can live with here. We are up 3-0 right now. And never mind, maybe it was a lot easier than I thought. Moving on to the Portland Trailblazers. You got Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Michael Beasley, Kyle Anderson, Yusuf Nurkic, Marcin Gortat off the bench, Rob Will here as well. It's a little forecasting. Rob Will now with the Portland Trailblazers. I miss Rob in Boston, man. He was one of my favorite players. He really was. Hurts, man. All right, we're up 3-1. I got to stop daydreaming here. We win in 5. Now, the 6-seeded Thunder. There's no Kevin Durant, but they still have Paul George. They still have Russell Westbrook. Steven Adams here as well. I don't know who Alvin Ellis is. They got Mike Scott here as well. 96 overall Russ and 91 overall PG are definitely not an easy conference finals. But we're up. Okay, maybe they... Are we really that good? Okay. Us and the New York Knicks. Frank Ntilikina, Jordan. What the fuck? Is Melo back in New York? Yeah, Melo went back to New York. That's kind of crazy. I know the years are off with where he actually played. I mean, Tingus Pingus is here. He's obviously playing really well, but am I like insane for saying that team doesn't really move me very much? I don't know. I think we're better. They do win game 3. And, okay, maybe I got to... Okay. I gotta shut my fucking mouth sometimes. All right, back to New Orleans for Game 7. I'd like to hold a lead and just not choke it away. I'd like to get a few shots up. We'll get some gameplay. I know a couple videos haven't had it, so why not? We'll hop in. We are on the verge of a championship here in our second season in New Orleans. I am absolutely thrilled about the way this season has gone. I didn't know if this team was championship caliber. You know, obviously some of the depth was definitely a concern. Some issues with maybe some guys being a little bit too young, a.k.a. Derek White, DeJounte Murray, maybe even Bam a little bit. But no, doesn't matter. We face a New York team that's taking us to 7 games, although I didn't really think they had any business taking us to 7 games. But we are still going to get it done, and I'm very, very happy. So goal now is to basically go back-to-back. Boogie, that's a bad lob from me. AD with the easy putback. He's got 15, 13, and 6 on the night. Not exactly the dominant Game 7 performance I was expecting out of him, but looks like everybody's eating a little bit. We're sharing the love all around the court. We do have 116 points, so somebody's scoring the ball a lot. Murray has 18 on the night. Melo going to take a pull-up jump shot. No good. And, yeah, you know, I think at this point we're just going to kind of fuck around a little bit. There's not a lot to do here. I would like... Okay, I didn't even call for that. You're just kind of giving me it. Oh, my God. That would have been insane. Holy shit. All right, Anthony Davis is just a monster on the boards. Is that Zubats that just took a tumble after Boogie just flew through the sky? Oh, my God. Oh, man. I always think about the what-ifs with this. You know, they made that trade with the Kings. I think it was Buddy Hield who was like the main focal piece in the deal. And, you know, it just seems so dominant at the time. If you guys actually want a good laugh after you're done watching this video, go to like my video catalog and sort by like most viewed. I made a video like maybe 10 minutes after the Boogie trade dropped. It wasn't a rebuild. I think it was just me reacting to the trade. And to this day, it's like one of my most viewed videos. Why? I have absolutely no idea. It was a horrible video at the time. It was literally just me talking about it and like the possibilities, but I just remember that. That's a fun memory. But yeah, no, obviously a very big what if with this tandem right here. You know, they never really got to experience like a real playoff. I mean, they did, I guess, technically in Boogie's year after the trade because he played in the playoffs that year, right? But I don't know. Just it could have been what if. Injuries suck, and obviously that's kind of ruined the career of DeMarcus Cousins to this point. And is he playing in China still or somewhere like that? So sucks to see, man. Really does. But hopefully this is a little bit of a happy note for you if DeMarcus Cousins happens to be watching this video. All right, Frank, just shoot. I don't care. Just back off. Let the Frenchman score. Go. Just shoot. Just somebody. Okay. That's going to go in. All right, I want to do one more offensive possession. I want to score. I hate ending on a low note of like not scoring the basketball, so what I am going to do is I'm going to call for an ISO here with Drew. Frank Ntilikina is actually a good defensive player, so we're going to have to get off there, and then I'm just going to call a quick floppy. I don't know who our best three-point shooter is. It's probably Chris Middleton. And no, they're going to give it to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, little 3 exclamation point. Nope. All right. I'm not sitting through any more of this. Good night. I'd like to personally thank the basketball gods for that not being a close game. I'm sure many of you are aware, but if you're not, I'm not very good at in-game gameplay. Anthony Davis, Finals MVP. Interesting series stats all around. No three-point shots for AD yet, but we win in 7. All right, entering our final offseason of today's video. Obviously, some of the stress, some of the pressure, if you will, has kind of been lifted right now. Whoa, what is all this? No, well, wait a minute. All right, so the top 4 picks are done. No. It's called a draft lottery for a reason. 3 worst teams. Yes, that's good. Doing some things there with some logos, uniforms. Coaches challenge is good. Was the coaches challenge in 2019, 2020? I thought it was after that. I thought it was after the bubble. I don't know. Sure, why not? Okay, I know none of that's important. Nobody probably really gives a shit. I just hate when they do stupid shit. And I see that we have a Milwaukee Bucks draft pick. I don't know what the protections are on it. And it's at number 8. So we have the 8th overall pick. Was that in the Chris Middleton trade? I don't know. All right, so the 8th overall pick is definitely not nothing. This is the Zion Williamson, John Morant draft class. Definitely some really good, like, complementary pieces here. I actually think I'm going to draft somebody there. It's rare that I come off a championship and then like draft somebody to actually be an impactful player. I know they're not going to be Zion or John Morant impactful, but you know, some of the pieces on this bench, like number 9, number 10, getting a little bit older. So if we can draft a guy, maybe be a rotation piece, I'll definitely take it. Is that our only draft pick? It is. Let's go ahead and just see who's available. I'm assuming Zion and Ja are both gone. Ja fell to 5. Okay, no disrespect to Tyler Hero, Rui Hachimura, or RJ Barrett, but you should be in prison. Everybody who's controlling the Grizzlies, the Rockets, and the Kings. Anybody in that front office. Literal jail if we're not drafting John. That's insane. All right, so there are definitely still some good players here. Kobe White, definitely a solid option. I'm thinking about what backups did we have? Or what does this roster really look like? I guess that'll answer my question. All right, so backup point guard, possible, not necessarily the biggest need. Backup shooting guard, I'm pretty comfortable with Derek White. Backup small forward is definitely a need. Backup power forward, definitely a need. So one of the forwards seems like probably the smartest pick. Yeah, just looking at some names here. There's a lot of decent, like, big men here, honestly. Cameron Johnson definitely could be a name. He's just like a lower... Ooh, Darius Garland sitting here? Shit, I didn't realize that Darius Garland was sitting there. All right, I have to take Garland. I made the mistake not taking Jalen Brunson the year prior to this. It's worked out to this point, but I will take Garland. I'll just trade Dellavedova for somebody else. Garland's only a 73 overall. That's what I was kind of worried about. So we're going to bring back everybody here. In terms of any other major trades, I don't really, kind of, oh my God, this free agency class is fucking nuts. Why can't I have any money? I would sign at least one of those guys. That kind of sucks. I mean, to be fair, the way this team's kind of structured, I wasn't going to be able to, do anything anyways, but that's fine. At this point in time, I'm going to look for some upgrades off the bench. I mean, we need a backup small forward, backup power forward. In terms of the funds we have to maybe sign somebody else, is that? Yep, nope. As I suspected, that's 2 Trevor Bookers. Not even the same overall. God bless you, 2K. All right, so let's just see, like, if I were to maybe... Who is this? That's not Lance Stevenson. Did I bring in Justin Holiday, Drew's brother? I'm actually going to go ahead and re-sign or sign this Trevor Booker. I don't know if I'm going to keep him or trade him. But what I am going to do is just hang on to him for now. Maybe I work on a trade, find somebody else. We are obviously going to go ahead and make a deal here with Mr. Matthew Dellavedova. I'm going to hang on to Derek White as well. I'm going to hang on to pretty much the entire starting lineup. So let's actually go ahead and trade Dellavedova. I'm looking for either a power forward or a small forward. Who is Dante King? I don't know. I know he's not making a ton of money, which is unfortunate. Lamond Singletary. What the fuck? I could actually... Oh, those are per 36. I'm like, what the fuck? I see Mo Spates there as well. Kyle Anderson's a viable option. Same with Kent Bazemore. But, you know, Luke Kennard's only 23. I'm almost positive his overall goes up. You move him to small forward. So we're going to do that there. Luke Kennard actually goes up to a 77 overall. And then I will consider Trevor Booker deals. I'm not going to force one. But if there's a trade that I see that I, really like or whatever, I'll pull the trigger on it. But let's see. Any power forward sitting here? Jaleel Okafor. Oh, my God. Power forward that is better than Trevor Booker at age 31. Yeah. Which one did we have last year? So we didn't have this one. We had this Trevor Booker. Hang on a minute. Trevor Booker was on this team last year, right? Is there a third Trevor Booker out there? I'm kind of at a loss for words. I'm going to hang on to him. I am just curious. Is there a third Trevor Booker? Oh my God, there are 3 Trevor Bookers in this. And they all, wait a minute. Not only are there 3 Trevor Bookers, they all have different pictures. Look, you can see, so obviously this one's different from these two. And you can see here the eyes are going in different directions and the smile is a little different. I can't believe I'm spending actual time talking about this, but that is insane. 3 Trevor Bookers. What a fucking video. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. After a championship season and conversation about the 3 Trevor Bookers that are in this video, we are finally ready to kick off our final regular season here in New Orleans. Why Drew Holiday's overall is going down, your guess is as good as mine. I almost said Derek White. DeJounte Murray, up to an 80 overall. Still got Chris Middleton, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, insane front court. I don't know why Luke Kennard has his panties in a twist. He's going to be my 6th man off the bench. Yes, I know Bam is now up to an 82 overall. Probably smart to get him more minutes, but it's 2 minutes a game. Who cares? Trevor Booker, I think the best option of all the book? I don't fucking know. Derek White in here, and then rookie Darius Garland getting only 10 minutes a night. I know it's not exactly ideal, but it's the final season. Who cares? I will see you guys at the end of year number 3. I'm getting some serious deja vu. It is another MVP for Anthony Davis, and you guessed it, we went 68-14. I don't know. Zion Williamson is a member of the Orlando Magic, and he is your Rookie of the Year. Billy Hernangomez, 6th man. Rudy Gobert is your depoy. Jakob Poeltl, most improved. And Jacob Underwood, yet another Coach of the Year for our glorious king. All right, let's take a look at the standings. We are 12 games ahead of the Golden State Warriors. We are, what's the math on that? 10 games ahead of the Philadelphia 76ers, who actually won it all in year 1, if you remember. All right, points. Davis, Cousins, Murray. Wow, I really love the jump he's taken. Everything here is on the up and up. That's kind of what I expected for everybody. Boards was also Davis, assist Mr. Drew Holiday. Utah Jazz here in round 1. Still got IT, still got Mitchell. Kevin Knox still going strong. Bobby Portis, Rudy Gobert. That'd be a really good defensive front court. Let's see what happens here. We do win game 1. We win game 2. Sim speed feels a little slow right now. Up 3-0, and we close them out in a sweep. Moving on to the San Antonio Spurs. You got Kobe White, Jimmy Butler. Okay. This is an insane trio. That scares the living shit out of me. I'm not going to lie to you. We are up 2-0 real quick. Oh, maybe. I don't know. We have found the Warriors, I guess. We beat them in year 1. They are still very, very good with, oh my fucking God. I don't know how this team hasn't been winning like 65-plus games every season. I truly don't. I don't know if it's something wrong with 2K or whatever the hell it is. I don't understand. Okay, hang on a minute. Fuck. I can feel it. You can tell when it's coming at this point. That's not what I meant. You can... Let me word this correctly. I can almost tell now, or not almost, I can tell now when I'm going to lose and blow a very, very big lead like we just did. It's like, I don't know what it is. I've played this game way too much. Yeah, I think a 7-game series is more realistic. I don't know why the Warriors haven't been nearly as dominant. Really? All right. I'm very happy we won the championship last year. I'd be very upset right now if we didn't. All right, man, that's going to wrap this one up. This was a fun video. it went a different way than I actually planned it out in my head. When I first saw the team, I always do that. I kind of like pre-plan at least the way I kind of want to go about it and the way I think it's going to go. And this one went differently. I'm very happy with the results. And in a championship, and Pelicans fans, I hope you are happy. Let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I will keep this short and sweet. I know this video has been long enough. That's it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.